boys are going to bring the heat today.
As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff Booner, Lukas. It is Friday, March 28th. And look at Klotzy. He just did there. You go.
We're back, boys. Had to drop a Deuce No Staley. Sorry about that. Just got done eating from dinner.
You know what? There you go. FTP sweatshirt on. Boone's got the we'll go ahead and help Boone out a little bit. We'll unmute his mic.
What's Stu Staley doing these days?
Where is he still in Philly? Or no, I think he's with the Browns.
Yes. Yeah, he's with a different organization. We actually ran into him.
Jeff and I.
Yeah, ran
Jeff
into
and
him
I just hopped in an elevator.
Deuce
Stu Staley.
Right, yeah, Deuce is right there. Good dude, man. Solid.
I can't
Honestly, we were about to miss the elevator, and he looks at me and says, "You got." And I said, "Please," and they walk in. It's Deuce Staley, boys.
Deuce is the man, dude. He's the man.
That and I think when Sean Stellato recognized Booner was still
wild.
Some of the crazy. I wasn't with you guys for Deuce. I think I was getting the table at the restaurant, but when we saw Stellato, he literally just looks at Boone. He goes, he knew instantly who it was.
Dude, that you know how bad that damaged my ego. That was
that was your. Did I? Oh yeah, I did tell you.
Humbled
Mitchell
me right away.
Yeah,
right away.
Well, he liked your hair though, Jeff. Well, now he wouldn't. So you have nothing with Sean Stellato. No connection. No connection with Sean.
Nothing.
The Quinyon stuff. Did you talk to Quinyon?
Yeah, I work at Discount Tire. People don't know, but I was working on a car, and I see this dude get out. I'm like, this dude looks really familiar. And if you guys haven't seen Quinyon Mitchell's hairline, it's something else. It goes joop joop joop. It's a weird hairline. But I see this dude get out of an old Honda Accord, and I'm like, that looks identical to Quinyon Mitchell. I'm like, that's no way that's Quinyon. Dude's driving a Honda Accord, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, it's the off season. The University of Toledo's 5 minutes away, and my buddy's at the UT Rec Center, and he texts me after he leaves, and he goes, "Bro, Quinyon Mitchell just pulled up in the gym, and he's just working out." And I was like, "What the hell?" It was crazy.
Quinyon, baby.
I just didn't want to say anything because if I went up to dude and I was like, Quinyon Mitchell, and he's like, no, I'd be like, okay. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know, boys, there's dogs just roaming around.
In the Honda Accord, I respect it, dude.
Bad Eberflus.
I mean, you talked about his hairline. I mean, Motor City Street Scene's coming at my hairline. He says, Jeff, need a refund and a proper lineup. I mean, what are we doing here, Mo? Chill on my widow's peak, man.
You're gonna grow it back out, right?
I got the widow's peak.
This guy's indecisive, dude. He has no clue what he's doing.
If you're gonna grow it back out, aren't you? Or are you keeping it short?
Yeah, I'll just let it grow. I'm just kind of doing whatever the hell I want with it.
If you grow it back out, keep it because it'll fuck up your hairline, especially with how long your hair gets.
Honestly, Jeff, I mean, I'll give you some advice here. You should try some different haircuts. You should.
Motor City, dude.
He's gonna come back with he's gonna have J.I. engraved into his head next time with a flame.
All right, chill, man.
It looks good.
No, I appreciate it, boys. You know what? I'm getting ready. Damon says I'm about to get drafted in the Marines. No, those guys do. I'm not built.
You'd be an
that.
Army guy.
Self-aware trooper. No, I'm self-aware enough. I'm not built for those guys. But hey, we got a lot to get to today. It's Friday. We got first round mock today. Later in the show, of course, we'll run it back. Different draft picks for different people. So you know what? We'll get into it. Sling Pizza. This is what up, boys. My 23rd birthday was last week. Finally catching a live show.
Let's go. Happy birthday.
Hey, my 23rd was a month ago. So happy 23rd to the both of us. And Caleb's a little bit before then.
You're the fucking man, Sling Pizza. Happy birthday, brother. That's
the Jordan Ivy year. Or Jaden Ivey. Jordan Ivy.
Oh, I guess. I mean, Jordan Ivy, yeah. LeBron, I mean, you do it all. Yeah,
that's on me.
Yeah. We'll get into a lot today. I mean, I even saw some dude, apparently Boone, I mean, maybe you can speak his language. He's like a professional handicapper. He commented on Dan Campbell. But he's
this guy, yeah.
He's an NFL analyst / betting analyst. Maybe you can deal with him, Boone. You can settle that.
Some of these guys, these old guys who I'm a sharp. I've seen it's unbelievable.
That's this guy. going at Dan Campbell. We'll get to that, and also Michigan Panthers boys firing up too next week.
Yeah. We have to talk about the Panthers today. We do, boys. We got to get them in the show.
Are up.
Panthers are up. Hey, if the people don't know, the boys are going to be covering all the games. We'll be at all the home games. Starting next Friday, we'll be at the game covering. It's an 8 p.m. game, late Friday night game. I'll just say that. I love the Panthers. They play Sunday, Friday. That's short, right? I guess some teams play. Some teams.
What do you mean? So they have a game Friday and then that Sunday too?
It's a
this
short
Sunday
week,
coming up. They open up the season on the road, I think in Memphis. And then on Friday, they come back, play at Ford Field on opening day at 8 p.m.
Oh, so I thought you were saying like they play Friday and then that following Sunday. I'm like, dude, that's insane. So they play this Sunday and then
next
Friday.
And this
I
next
was like,
Friday,
dude, that turnaround is
Friday to Sunday.
It's longer than the NFL by a day.
Yeah, I still think the Thursday night games are ridiculous. I mean, I know I love watching the football on Thursdays, but geez, dude, that's a turnaround.
Friday night NFL games would be gas.
Yeah, give them one more
I know
day.
it's high school football and stuff, so whatever, but gas.
Anywhere the NFL puts a game, it's dominating that day.
People are watching.
That's the control they have right now. It's crazy.
I would just be mad as fuck if like the Lions were playing Friday at 8 p.m. and I had a game like growing up at like 7. Like that would make me so mad.
I think that's why they don't do it is because of high school. I really do. I think they don't. They want to have an audience of like high schoolers to be because those are future NFL players.
Yeah. Then Friday, Saturday, got college football on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good weekend.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be a good next week. I mean, we have opening day. We'll be out there. Michigan Panthers will be covering it. We'll be excited. The roster for the Panthers. I mean, we got to see Jake Bates last year. He ended up being a Lion. Yeah. So NFL
Rocky Lombardi this year.
They look at the UFL. They're watching these guys. So you never know who could be the next Lion.
We're gonna need a Booner breakdown like Michigan Panther of the week.
Rocky Lombardi, former Michigan State quarterback. I don't know who's starting. I guess we'll find out Sunday. I can reach out and figure that out, but they have Bryce Perkins. I know we know Bryce Perkins.
We saw Bryce Perkins last year, I think. Yeah.
But they also have Rocky Lombardi. Bryce Perkins didn't start last year when we covered the one game. It was
it
the other Michigan State
Martinez?
Let Lukey or the Michigan State guy.
You're gonna say it wasn't
Brian
Lewerke. Lewerke was the starter last year.
Brian Lewerke, yeah. State fans will know, yeah. Brian.
Yeah, now they have Rocky Lombardi, so maybe Rocky Lombardi ends up
those two were battling next. Those two were battling for that state job at one point.
Were they both of them?
Yeah, I think at the same time, if I remember correctly. Well, Rocky was there, I think, when Lewerke was there.
I want to, boys, and maybe I'll throw this content idea out right now, so it's in the ether, and we're pretty close with the people with the Michigan Panthers, so I think we could get it done. Puka Nakua's two brothers are on the team, wide receiver and safety. I would like to do a content series with them, with the boys, where we go around maybe the city and get some Coney dogs with them and do some different Detroit foods. And then then after that, we go out to a football field and we play some ball with those two boys.
That'd be dope.
I think we could get it done. We just got to find a time and set it up, but I think that would be sick.
Hey, what's because one of his brothers is a safety, isn't he?
Well, yeah, safety, safety, and pull it up.
I think one of them's a wide receiver. The other,
I think so. Yeah, I think the
Booner Witten out there routing up the safety.
Don't get me going.
He'd clamp your ass, dude. You know.
No, for sure.
If it hits Booner's hand, he's catching it. But if it hits Booner's hands, he'll catch it.
I'm catching it if it hits my hands. That's a guarantee. That is a guarantee.
Yeah, Trey Lance might join. Baldo Lies mentioned Trey Lance. I mean, who knows? Trey Lance might be in there soon. Hey,
he's in the CFL, I think.
He posted this, by the way. Shout out to Eric, our buddy, and he said he's the man. Takes care. We got some sources out here capturing footage, sending it to the boys. We got little. It's like little plants, media plants all over the country, just in case, Like in Cali, we got our boy Eric. And then they work out at the same field. By the way, Puka Nacua, speaking of Puka, he was at this field a week ago working out. Last year, we posted Amon-Ra working out on this field. And then this year, well, there you have it. Amon-Ra, even though he's not in the videos, but he's out here working out. Jameer Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, working out over there, getting some work in. Breakout player. Look at this. Hold on.
Oh, man.
And then just Bryce Young randomly.
No, shout out Craig though. But like Jameer working on what? Catching the football. I love it. Hey, the route runner.
Craig.
Look at Craig out there getting
a little slant. Or is that an in?
Look at this. And then Jameer. I like this. Jameer's game on in the passing game. Johnny Morton. You better pay attention to this, Johnny Mo. Just give that man the pill. I mean, Johnny Morton came out, and I don't know when Tim Twentyman put this out, but apparently he wants to implement like 4 to 5 explosive plays a game.
Love
I
that.
saw more than that. I thought it was,
I love that.
I thought I could be wrong. Is it 7 to 8?
Oh,
I
7
thought it was
or 8. Sorry. Yeah, 7 or 8
7
explosive. 8. Johnny Morton wants to take the top off, dude. I mean, this is like, look at this.
Boy.
Klotz, I think you should love this.
I think we can make our points about it. Here's the thing. When I first saw this, I was like, God, fuck. I was like, what did I talk about? I was like, simplify this offense. But Booner, to your point, if these 7 or 8 plays are coming off play action where you're setting them up, I mean, it's the same. They have the players to do it. My whole thing is I don't want the philosophy for this offense to be a big play offense through the air. Like if this is like a run first offense, like it has been, hope it goes up a little bit more. But if you're setting these plays up, fine with it. I don't want the pass to set up the run. That's my only concern. Don't think that's going to happen. But when I first saw 7 or 8 explosive plays, that's what popped into my mind. That, oh, Jared's going to be back there 35 times throwing the ball. Hope that's not the case. Don't think it will. But Johnny Mo show, bro ran a 4.3. Let everybody know that he used to.
Klotz, I'm telling you, I think you're going to like, I don't think these are like being like, let's just take 8 or like 8 times.
Yeah,
let's do
shots down the
triple reverse shots to J-Mo. Like, no, I think this is like, let's take the top off so our run game opens up even more. So like these, like Sam Laporta is going to have more. You're going to have more checkdowns with Sam Laporta. Gibbs is going to have more checkdowns. Like, I think it's more so like, again, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say Ben was bad. I'm not going to go at Ben. I think Ben was one of the best in the league. We can all agree, and this isn't because Ben's with the Bears now.
Right.
There were parts of Ben Johnson's game, 3rd and 1s.
Situational,
big trick plays, taking shots maybe when you needed them, or not taking shots when you could use them and you could open things up. There were still parts of Ben Johnson, even though he's one of the best in the league. He wasn't like a Sean McVay, to where Sean McVay is very, very sharp. Like he knows when to take the top off. He knows, hey, 7 or 8 times a game, we got to go downfield so we can open these things up. And as a younger OC, I think Ben was still learning those things, to where John Morton, whether or not we think he can be Ben with the play calling, he knows those sharp things because he's been in the NFL for so long. So I think that's like, there's a positive with Johnny Mo, the Johnny Mo show.
I mean, guys, I think when people see this is like, it's easy to see explosive play and think it's like, when you think of pass plays down the field, by definition, an explosive play is either a run of 12 plus yards or a pass of 16 plus yards. So like when I see this, if I'm being completely honest with you, like I don't think too much of it. Like they probably ran the same amount of play. They probably had the same amount of explosive plays last year. You know what I mean? Of just run plays with Jameer, pass plays to J-Mo, or maybe a check down to Jameer and he takes it 15, 20 yards. That's still an explosive play, So I think when people see this, it's like, oh, J-Mo down the field, Goff's like, no, it's not that. It's just explosive plays with yards. That can come with checkdowns to Jameer, Amon-Ra, yards after catch, Sam Laporta, yards after catch. Like it could be a
20 plus yard plays.
Yeah, it could be a 17-yard completion to Amon-Ra. That's explosive play. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Weren't the Lions? Didn't they have some of the top 5 in explosive, like over, like, or it might have been number 1 in like plays over 20 plus yards?
It had, at least consistency wise, there was at least like the only team that I think could probably stack up with them, and they were hurt this year, is like T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and then Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
And when they used to have Joe Mixon too, man. Geez.
Yeah. Where did you guys, because this is where again, I call him down on it, but when I see that, the reason why I was like, oh shit, is because the whole narrative with Johnny Morton in New York, where they're like, he didn't run the ball more than he needed to. Is there any concern with that with you fellas?
No, I think
he won't, but not enough.
I think certain coordinators I think a lot of it depends. If you're a good coordinator, you're just like Kelvin said. Kelvin's never been a coordinator, but he understands, like, I will adjust to the personnel I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's most coordinators. Like John, it's hard, like, to look at this offense, dude. You have 2 of these running backs, this offensive line. You're like, I'm going to pass a lot.
Especially in New York. Like, did he even have the running backs? Like, did he have the offensive line?
Yeah.
Probably not. And then you think about who he's with. Like, who has he been with majority of his career? John Gruden and Sean Payton. Like, Sean Payton is a guy who, like,
runs the ball.
He is a run first like guy. That's where Dan gets it. Like, so like I don't think John Morton, like I think actually in his press conference, I think he mentioned it too. I think that someone brought it up to him and he actually said, no, like we're a run team, we're a run first team. And that's kind of my mindset offensively, is a run first type of player or coach. So I think he'll be fine. Was John Gruden a run first coach?
I mean, those guys.
He was a defensive guy more so. So usually, you
his
run
teams,
like they had work done. Like when he was in his prime.
Some of the offenses that they had.
John Gruden had that like explosive play flavor to him, like down the field, like pass. You know what I mean? Like that's where Johnny Mo.
Y2Y banana.
Yeah,
Y2Y banana.
Yeah, that's So he's got a little finesse. Same with like Sean Payton. Like Sean Payton always had pass catching running backs. Like he loves that too. Like they're just well balanced offensive guys. Like pretty much. I mean, they can all do it all. Like Sean Payton just can do anything. He's great.
I really honestly, and this is like maybe a coming to Jesus moment. I really and I love John. Like I'm not gonna say I love John Morton until I get to see him, but I love the staff like around John Morton. Like I think that's what's gonna like the foundation of it with like Hank Fraley still and Scotty and David Shaw and those guys. Like I think the staff is gonna be like is big. Mark Brunell, and Dan's still like kind of going through that. Yeah, now that I think about it too, with the John Gruden stuff, Gruden was a quarterback too. He does all the quarterbacks, so he probably was a pass guy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like just physical because they didn't really have like many. Like Keyshawn Johnson was probably the best wide receiver that he had, and he wasn't like.
But they had Josh Jacobs with the Raiders, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just he was like it's kind of what we just talked about, like set up the run, take a shot.
He had a couple big.
At least from when
he had Jerry Rice for a little bit, I think, at one point in his career.
What version was that?
With the Raiders, I think.
I'm
going to be honest with you boys.
No. Was that Unk?
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you boys. I've consumed so much John Gruden content over the last 3 months. I've seen every behind the scenes video that they've put out over the last year. Like, I love something about like seeing these coaches like behind the scenes. Like, how do these guys' football minds work? And like he is like, and I know people the whole thing that happened with the emails, but like he's a football guy. That's the thing. And it's like when you like get to see like his personality and who he is, he's like he's like one of us boys, or he's like, you know what I mean? And
well, I ain't got emails like that.
No, but you know what I'm saying. But it does suck to see that he was kind of in the crossfire of the whole Dan Snyder and Roger Goodell thing, and then they leaked his emails. And yeah, maybe they weren't good emails, but dude, John Gruden should be coaching football somewhere. Like he went back to the Raiders, and they were good instantly again with
Derek Carr,
with Chucky.
With Chucky,
not Chucky.
Guy like
the Toy Story kid.
No, I think people call him Chucky.
Wait.
You know the Toy Story? Yeah, they call John Gruden Chucky, but the Toy Story kid that with the shaved head, that's like Derek Carr. Oh, Klotz. Oh, I'm so sorry, bro.
I would say, is that a straight at Klotz? Or
I'm so
what are we
sorry.
doing? Yeah. Hey, well, let's. I want to get. I really do want to get to this.
Did you see the video I just sent you?
Oh, the Jim Rome clip. Yeah, DJ Reed went on. I didn't even know Jim Rome.
It just dropped 20 minutes ago.
Jim Rome's been around. Like Jim Rome is like he's the OG of sports media. He's been around for a while, and I don't know if he puts. I don't think he puts any like money into like promoting the show. I don't know who he has on or when it's happening, but out of nowhere he had DJ Reed on. So, and he asked him why he chose to go to the Lions. And you're gonna like his answer.
DJ Reed.
DJ Reed.
I've never watched the Jim Rome show. If I'm just
no one.
I have a couple. He just reminds me kind of like a TMZ.
Yeah,
that makes
he's
sense.
done a lot of great things in the business. I just don't watch. He's just not my flavor personally.
He looks like an evil like clothes designer.
He's he does give off like he's a supervillain kind of.
Yeah,
you know, like
Rothschild.
All right, but let's hear what DJ Reed had to say.
See, what were you looking for specifically in your next opportunity after spending the last 3 years with the Jets? What was important to you?
Simple. I wanted a chance to win a Lombardi, bro. That's something that I want to do. I want to win a Lombardi with my teammates, with my coaches, with the organization. And I want to go somewhere and just play good football, meaningful football. That was the main thing for me. And to be in Detroit a blessing, bro. Like God really works in mysterious ways. You know, the ownership, the forwards, head coach Campbell, everybody is just, you know, working as one. So I'm looking forward to it. And the city of Detroit, they're gonna get all I got, bro. These three, and I'm excited, man. It's gonna be lit.
We were talking to DJ Reed. DJ,
Yeah,
you know,
that I don't know what happened at the end there. I mean, I think his internet that was like Klotzy's old internet or something. I don't know what happened.
Was that on him or was that on us? I gotta know what was.
No, I was on him because Jim Rome was clear. He was fine after that. But choosing the Lions to win a championship is kind of interesting. I love hearing that. It's something you don't. It's very different, especially when people like that aren't from Detroit hear that. They're like, "Dude, you're going to the Lions? Like you're going to the Lions to try and win a championship?" It's like, yeah, no, they're in that. Like all the stuff we complain about. Like the reason why we complain about it is because we want to win a championship, but it's because we know how good the Lions are and how close they are. You know, they're in that conversation. Like it comes from a point of passion. When I talk about wanting Zadarius Smith back, it's because I know how close this team is. You know, it's not because I just woke up and decided to hate on the Lions. I want them to be great, and they do have a great roster. So DJ Reed made the right choice. And I think out of all the corners looking back, I think they made the right decision. I did. Like Carlton's a good option, but for the money,
health.
Yeah, I mean, besides him, man, like Shardavius Ward's really good corner. But I'm happy with DJ Reed. I'm very happy.
Don't you guys think
he's exactly what they're looking for? I think he's exactly what they're looking for.
I couldn't agree more with the DJ Reed stuff. I think like him saying like I want to win a Lombardi. I think that's why maybe I'm off, but like the passion of being like why we need an edge rusher, right? And like yeah, people are like maybe we're talking about it too much. That's why I think it's a little shocking that there wasn't like really one of those premier ones, not like premier, but like these one year deal, $5 million, $6 million, Azeez Ojulari, Josh Uche, like they went to the Eagles, but it's like, how do the Lions not get one, maybe two of those types of guys outside of DJ Reed? Because it is a spot where it's like, you have a chance like in the next 12 months to be hoisting a Lombardi trophy. And how have you been able to get one of those guys in here to be able to help you out with that? That like Zadarius, like how is Zadarius not back? That's what's a little shocking to me. So, but I'd love to hear it.
Very frugal GM, Boone, because I think that it is hard to find that middle ground of okay, you're signing up for a championship team, but players are still going to want paid. So, if you find a DJ Reed who obviously could have found money elsewhere, like if Brad sees that these players are willing to sign that contract at this bargain or this discount of a contract, then okay, yeah, these dudes want to play football. But it does. I think we could all agree. Love that Brad's finding these deals that he's not overpaying. Loosen up a little bit. We can loosen up the checkbook a little bit, but at the end of the day, DJ Reed's going to be a really good player for this team. And at first, like, not that I thought it was a bad thing, but the more the season gets here, I'm very excited we have 2 5'9" corners. Like I am. Like I just think it's these two between him and Amik Robertson just fly around and hit people. And like after them, it's Ennis. Ennis is 5'11". He's a little bit taller than those guys, but frame-wise, he's a little bit smaller. But we're just going to have a bunch of undersized psychos just smacking people. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, all these wide receivers, it's going to be a hell of a hard time to get off the line of scrimmage, and then you got 2 all-pro safeties behind him. So I think this defense, there's going to be more plays made in the secondary, especially at that cornerback spot. Because to your point, like Carlton is probably a better pure cornerback when healthy. But that last half of the season, we didn't see it, and that – The season, especially in the playoffs, could have had a completely different trajectory, even if there was no Hutch and you had Carlton there, because we saw Carlton's impact against the Houston Texans. Like, if you have that type of player there, DJ Reed doesn't need to get 2 picks, but if you can prevent those big plays from happening like Carlton did, this defense is going to be so much better off. So I can't wait to see DJ Reed play this year.
I'm pumped up to Terrion Arnold, boys. Yeah, there's something about that I think Terrion's about to, like, really take a step forward.
You know what the sad reality of what's going to happen this year? And again, I'm not going to act like I'm not going to do it. It just depends on what we're actually seeing. But there will be terrible commentary about Dan Campbell. That's going to happen. I already know there's going to be a game or games where Dan makes a decision that some old head doesn't agree with. All due respect. But you guys know who it is. Typically, it's people that just go at Dan Campbell for no reason. Guys that have covered the game for a while And Dan's going with how the game's going now. You know, he's the game's moving in a certain direction. He started going for it on fourth down. Now a lot of teams are starting to go for it on fourth down. That is literally what teams are starting to do. And people are still going at Dan Campbell for it. Now I get like the timing and stuff, but this is who he is. He's been very open about it. And there's people on television that still can't comprehend that. And they still think of like 20 years ago football where it's like, well, they just never did that back in the day. It's like, well, in 2025, they're doing it, and they're doing it actually because of analytics. You know, that's just how it works. So I have this video here, and maybe, see, Doug, you know what, Doug, that's what I'm talking about. Even us old guys can see Dan Campbell's changing the game. It's and shout out Will Rock too. They don't know the new age football. It's hard to accept change. Yeah, that's basically what's happening. So let's play this clip, okay? And Boone, again, this is your side of the fence here. You claim this guy. This is
I don't claim any sharp bettors, dude. Dude, when we were at our last spot, I had people trying to and I don't know if I've ever said it. When I would do these gambling shows sometimes towards the end, when they were like, hey, Booner, you want to do a gambling show? I was being told what picks to put out there. And the only times that I would go like 0 for 4, 1 for 6 was when I would be like, hey, these are the bets I want you to put out there. That was it. These sharps, they're not. Hey, you bet based off of your feel. Do you watch the game? Do you know the game? Yeah. Bet off that. Don't bet off all this other stuff, man.
Analytically speaking.
So I guess the person who says this, Steve Fezzik, I think it's Fezzik. He's like a professional handicapper, covers the NFL. You know, big time handicapper. I guess that's what you call it, Boone, like a professional handicapper, whatever the hell you'd say. So let's hear Steve Fezzik share his thoughts on Dan Campbell. All right.
Years ago, and now they have a disadvantage. And let me explain why. I'm going to use an analogy. So back in the World Series of Poker in the early 2000s, players were too conservative, not aggressive enough. All right. And Chris Moneymaker wasn't that good of a player, but he was somewhat of a maniac where he would be ultra aggressive. And aggression is good in no limit poker. He was too aggressive. All right. So he made some mistakes, but he was still better than the field. All right. He wasn't the best player, but he was better than the field and he wound up winning. So the Lions are like Chris Moneymaker. They directionally figured it out before the rest of the NFL. We want to go for it. We want to go for it way more than the rest of the league. So they had an advantage, but they're not optimal. They make bad decisions. They go for it too much. They go for it 4th and goal from the 6 because Dan Campbell just decides, let me just, that's what we do, right? They go for it when they're up 14 in the playoffs, when they can kick a field goal and go up 17 against San Francisco late in the third quarter. Mistake. So given that, and given these other NFL teams who were sissies and they weren't aggressive enough or have moved more to optimality, and the Lions are too aggressive, the Lions will actually have a disadvantage, in my opinion, this year versus a lot of teams.
Okay. So Steve Fezzik has spoken. And
you better listen. You better listen when that man's speaking.
Yeah, good one, Steve. I mean, this is terrible, man. A terrible take. I mean, it's just a dumb take. And I'll explain why. So he tried to make the poker comparison, and I'm not a good poker player. I have somewhat of a good I understand a little bit of poker, but I get what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to insinuate that Dan Campbell is a little too aggressive. Here's the reality. It's not the same, because when you're an NFL coach, like Dan Campbell is, you have to look at your personnel. Look at the personnel this dude has. You have a top 2, 3, I'd say 2 at this point. Eagles, I give 1. Offensive line. You have the best collective backfield in the NFL. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best hands in the NFL. One of the. You have Sam Laporta, very reliable. Like, these guys catch everything. And you have Jared Goff, who's very accurate. This team is elite in short yardage situations because of their offensive line, because of the run game. So, of course, they're going to go for it on 4th down, because not only do analytics favor that, they have the personnel to actually get it done. And they're good at it. They're good at it. You look at the 4th down conversion rate in the NFL, Lions are up there. They do it at a high rate. Yeah, they go for it a lot, but it works. And he's closed games because of it. And this is the problem I have. When coaches are too passive, they get critiqued. Guys get crapped on. Coaches get crapped on for being too passive. Jim Caldwell, a prime example. He got eviscerated in Detroit because he was too passive at times, especially in the postseason. But when someone's aggressive, they get shit on as well. Like what Dan's doing with the personnel he has, I love. Now, if the personnel wasn't there, you'd be like, you don't really have a great quarterback. You don't have great running backs. You don't have a great offensive line. Why are you doing this? He has everything. So I don't mind it, guys. I really don't. He's empowering his players, and it works. Like, that's the thing. So I get what he was trying to do with the poker comparison, but when you look at the personnel the Lions have offensively, it's going to be hard not to go for it, especially in short yardage situations. Now, are there times, is it okay to go for it every single time? I mean, for the most part, you got to just understand that's who Dan is. Like, there's probably, I mean, we talked about this last year, Boone. Maybe there's some scenarios where you're like, I don't know about that one. But 90% of the time, you're like, dude, it's a great call by Dan Campbell. And especially when you have a defense, probably makes that call a little better because if you don't get it, the defense can bail you out. I know they haven't really had the defense, but yeah, this guy's an idiot. Dan Campbell being aggressive. It's literally changing the game. More teams are doing it. You know what I mean? Like the personnel Dan has, I have no problem with it, man. I don't. He's got great players.
I have a good example to throw out there with this. And the old heads, again, this goes back to the old heads like this guy, J.K. Rowlings or whatever his name is.
J.K. Rowlings.
I think J.K. Rowlings might be a girl.
J.K. Rowlings.
She is, but good.
No, that's on me.
Simple
mistake. Simple mistake. Oh, man, that's embarrassing. Do you guys remember in 2015, 2014, and in the NBA world, when the Warriors started to take over the NBA, and people were like, you will never be able to withstand this. Like they won the first championship and people are like, there was two sides of it. There was the old heads that were like, you can only win the game with fundamentals. You got to get to the basket and score layups and dunks and easy buckets, set screens and play defense. That's the only way you'll ever be able to win. And the Warriors went on to go win like 4 championships. And then what happened in the NBA, boys? What's one thing that's happened over the last 10 years?
Too many. Now it's insane. Now
whether it's too many threes or not,
they're shooting threes.
The game has evolved, and it had to do with that one team doing it, and you got to kind of see like, hey, the evolution of the game. Now, this is where my side goes into the other side of the people. Are you good at it? Are you good at it? Because there are people who are like, hey, I'm going to shoot a lot of threes. Are we good at it? No, that's why we haven't won a championship. But with the Lions, they've changed the game. Dan Campbell has changed the game on 4th downs and going for it. They're not bad at it. Like that's the difference between this guy. I don't know I forgot, name is gone. This Franklin guy, where he's trying to say, hey, teams have caught up. No, teams haven't. The only way teams caught up to them is going for it the amount of times that the Lions do. Now then show us after next year, show me the conversion rate because Dan's talked about it a million times, boys, that this team has done this since day one, since they won 3. They were like 3-16-1. They've been doing this since year 1. This team has gotten good at it. They have more reps than anyone in the NFL on 4th downs and being aggressive and what they have to do in those moments. It's just like the Eagles with the tush push. No one can do the tush push as good as the Eagles because they created it. They know how to do it. They know how to execute it. They've been the team that has done it the longest. It's the same thing with the Lions on 4th down, boys. Like this guy is a crumb bum idiot that has no clue what he's talking about. And like, I mean, he obviously hasn't watched the Lions. He doesn't look at the stats to see the conversion rate. And he doesn't understand that these guys on this offense, the offensive line, Jared Goff, how good they are at understanding on 4th down what they need to do to be able to convert those.
Right.
It's a different level than the Titans going out there and trying to be an aggressive on 4th down. It's night and day difference.
Yeah, I think this bozo has no clue. When you add the context around it, especially this season, how many injuries did the Lions have on defense?
Probably like freaking 20.
Well, you pretty much can take out everybody except for Kirby Joseph, Jack Campbell, and that's probably it. Like everyone on this defense got hurt. Who had the best offense in the NFL last year? The Detroit Lions.
Yep.
So when you look at They had one of the best third down offenses in the NFL, one of the best fourth down offenses in the NFL, and they're winning 15 games. If you want to talk about, okay, maybe the onside kick, what was that against Buffalo? Like where there was the onside kick way too early. I don't really think anybody like that. That's a play call you can question with Dan Campbell. But at this point, Dan Campbell has built this team on trusting each other, chemistry, physical football, and execute. When you look at these fourth down conversions, that's what they all are. He trusts this team to go out there and make plays, and they go out there and they execute. And you can see that, to Booner's point, like at the beginning of this tenure with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, it didn't work. But once you realize how to truly do it, all those fourth down conversions that didn't work, now this team realizes, okay, don't do that. And next year, they probably won't have to go for it as much because their defense, they can trust a little bit more. But when you have a defense, hold on, come here. Get out of there. Got a puppy biting at my fucking feet.
Puppy interrupted.
When you have a defense that can't stop a soul, when
he's on Frank's side,
like you're going to trust that offense to go out there and seal that game. And that's what they did 15 times. And even like if you look around the NFL, other teams, like the Commanders had no business being in the NFC Championship game if you look at what their actual roster was built at. But the amount of time they went on fourth down, not as much as the Lions, but it was still a handful of amounts. And they were like 87% on the season. 87%. And that didn't just happen. Like Dan Quinn made it to a Super Bowl, realized how he lost the Super Bowl, watched all the coaches that he saw in Dallas, watched around the NFL, and he's like, you know what? We probably got to be a little bit more aggressive. We want to be pretty damn good. Dan Campbell, new head coach, same philosophy pretty much, all just on the offense side of the ball. He does it. Philadelphia does it. Buffalo does it. Los Angeles Rams do it to a certain extent. So all the elite teams are doing it. Kansas City does it.
Yeah.
No issue with what Dan Campbell's doing.
I mean, even this, like, let me end this debate. Lions were first in red zone conversion, first down conversion, and total touchdowns. Like, it's a great point. I mean,
and to second that, those points there, Jeff, though, and I know our defense wasn't that great, correct? What was one thing that I brought up all the time? Oh, look at the dog. Look at the dog. Unbelievable puppy. What's the dog's name? Can I name the dog? Is already named?
Stewart.
Great name. I was going to say
Isaiah
Franklin.
Stewart. I love that.
Hey, Beef Stew. What up, Beef
I do be calling him Beef Stew.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I got to put him back up there, boys.
that's so funny. But my point with this whole thing is, like, Jeff, with that comment there, what was one thing with the defense that I brought up every single week? They were top 5 in red zone.
Situationally, they were good.
Yes, they were top 5 in red zone efficiency and third downs. So when you have a defense that is getting stops on third down and stopping teams in the red zone, you're able to go for it in different positions because I know the defense as a whole was hurt and wasn't great, but you're able to put those, like, your defense in those positions and trust them. You know, you see what I'm saying there? Like, I think all around, like, Dan's able, like, if he didn't trust that defense fully, would he go for it as much? Probably not, because you feel like they're going to give up everything. But they weren't all year long, so you're able to. And then this year, you have a better defense, and it's going to be able to trust them more.
Yeah, I mean, I get the point if people want to bring up, like, well, if you have a really good defense, it's good to play field position. Like, I get that sometimes. I understand that. But there'll be times, like, for example, the Packers game, when Goff fell and gave the ball to Demont and they converted it and won the game. Like, I don't want to give the ball back to Jordan Love. Are you kidding me? In that situation?
With that defense.
Like, because guess what? This guy, what's his name? Steve Fezzik.
Steve,
I'm sure if he had money on the Lions money line, and they gave the ball back to Jordan Love and they scored and he lost, he'd be like, "Oh, he was too passive." You know, he lost money because of it. Like, the guy, there's situations where you have to end the ball with the game or end the game with the ball, and Dan's done that, and I respect it. Now, like, fake punts are probably something a little different where you're like, okay, you know, especially now with the rule, you have to tell the team you're going for. It's stupid. But yeah, that's a dumb. I mean, what Dan's doing is, yeah, like, and Colin Cowherd tried this too, like last year, where he was like, well,
Yeah.
aggression. What was the quote he had? Aggression's never hoisted a Lombardi trophy. It's like, dude, that you're overthinking this. Like,
do we not remember the Philly special against the Patriots in the Super Bowl right before halftime when you have? Why do they do that?
Wait.
They have
Sean
Tom
Payton
Brady
onside
on the
kick?
other side, and they have Nick Foles.
It's another one.
Sean Payton onside kick to start a half is like the biggest aggression.
Manning.
Oh my gosh, dude. What about non-aggression has never won a Super Bowl? How about the Seahawks not being aggressive and giving the ball to Skittles or whatever his
Marshawn?
Yeah, Lynch. Oh, that was just dumb. That play call was just
That was
dumb.
the first thing I could think of. I don't know why.
That's just I don't know, malfeasance.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's just dumb.
unbelievable.
Dan would never. They wouldn't do that.
Give it to D-Mont, man. D-Mont, that's why I love D-Mont so much. Just D-Mont, just like I know with Gibbs as well, but like it's like 100% hit rate for D-Mont. Like 3 yards in,
he's one of the best short yardage backs in the league.
And like Gibbs, I'm not saying again. I think if you did 100 times Gibbs and D-Mont from the 3-yard line, who gets it in the? I think D-Mont legit will get 100 out of 100, and Gibbs will get like 90 out of 100. Like D-Mont is just a bowling ball, dude.
That's why I think people got frustrated with the empty backfield in the playoffs. Like I get that, like empty backfield on 3rd and 1. That's where I get people's frustration. Like I defended Ben in that game, but I got that play call. Like I understand.
Even with Gibbs in that play, like I know D-Mont's hurt, but like, dude, like tell me Gibbs can't get a yard. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
throw Craig in. Craig could have got a yard.
Craig has. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple, probably only like 2, because it wasn't that many times, but there was been multiple times through the season where we all were like, what the fuck is Craig Reynolds doing on the field right now? Like you have the best running backs in the NFL and you bring in Craig Reynolds and Craig Reynolds picks up 7 yards on one carry. Like, okay, Craig, stay in there. Bring him back later in the game, 5 yards.
Dude, what's this with Easy, man? Easy said D-Mont has slowed down. Doug said
I wish and out of it, I just wish that we could have conversations with Easy on the show because he has some of the good takes and the craziest takes at the same time. I used to love arguing with Easy, bro. It was one of my favorite things. Like this,
that's my guy. I mean,
Easy, now.
What are we
Easy
doing?
loves D-Mont too.
I'm gonna text him.
I mean,
he literally started.
You could possibly see it like this season, maybe like if this injury becomes a nagging thing. But like, I think this year, boys, like especially out of the backfield catching the ball, like probably the best version of David Montgomery we've seen.
Oh yeah,
D-Mont is not slowing down.
How many conversations where it'd be you two going back and forth with me, where it's like, okay, Jameer's going to have more touches because he's going to kill it when it comes to catching the ball. Like it's not even be close because you look at D-Mont 2 years prior had like 10 to 15 catches, probably a little bit higher than that. But when it came out of the backfield as a threat, he was nothing.
Right.
And there was points in the season, especially like halfway through, where he had like 1 or 2 more catches. Like that screenplay where he lays out Devin Witherspoon and goes 30, 40 yards down the field. He ends up high stepping. My favorite play from the season. And I would have never thought that David Montgomery would have done that out of the backfield. So no way, no how. Look, hey, for my former landlord, love him to death.
Yeah, like if he's mentioning slowing, I mean, no, I can't even. Like the injury slowed him down. I mean, he had a terrible the knee injury, which like affected him clearly. He wasn't the same after that. But he had games last year before that where he had great games. I mean, he started the year off against the Rams. He almost had 100 yards. Remember that game, dude? He ate. And then he had the game against Dallas, the Dallas game he played. Really
D-Mont's a number 1 running back in the NFL, and he's like been fine to say, I'll take a step back and be RB2 here in Detroit to win. And he loves it.
Standard are we holding D-Mont to? Like he's not like a top 5 running back. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people expect this dude to be like he's great in the role he is. You know what I mean? Or if, like you said, Boone, if he was the number 1 running back, he'd still be like,
dude, he would have
back.
I believe if D-Mont at this point of his career, like in the Bears, they didn't have an offensive line for him. If D-Mont was in, like, say he was the only Lions running back, we didn't have Gibbs, D-Mont's rushing for 1,200 yards. Like, it's 100% he is. He's that good. I don't think people realize it because of Jahmyr Gibbs. But, like, if you want to make the argument at the end of the season in the playoffs, he didn't look the same. The man was playing on a hurt knee. Let him get healthy in the offseason. Yeah. He's going to be D-Mont next year. He's in his the thing is he's in his prime right now too. It's not like he's like he is in his prime. Like this is when you want to running back on your team. Like what is he, year 4, year 5? Like in his career, like this is when you want a running back. This is a peak of a running back, and you have him on your team behind Jahmyr Gibbs. Like it's a 1,200 yard running back guy that you have, and you only need 800 from. And
maybe last year just because of like the injury, but there's not that much difference in Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery, in my opinion. And that's not taking away from Josh Jacobs. I think both of those, like to your point, he's a top 10 running back. If you put David Montgomery in Dallas this year, 1,000 yards, 12 to 13 touchdowns, probably like 200-300 yards through the air. But most importantly, he's going to change the dynamic of that offense. Like that offense goes from a soft, aired out offense to, okay, this is going to be a physical. You don't want to tackle David Montgomery. It's going to take a linebacker and a safety. How many times has David Montgomery been tackled one-on-one? couldn't tell you because over the last couple of years, he leads the NFL in broken tackles per average on the season. So the dude's a fucking maniac. And I don't like, he's not going to lose his power. Like, he's not just going to get weak.
No.
He might lose a little bit of his speed. You have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Klotz, don't even believe that.
I'm just saying, like, it's going to happen eventually. Like, it's not like he's going to always stay at the, like, but David Montgomery's always going to try to run through a fucker's face. Like,
do we not?
LeGarrette Blunt, like, run through a motherfucker, or is Marshawn Skittles, run through a motherfucker's face, run through, like, that's David Montgomery.
Do we not remember 2 years ago with Demont's first year here? The man was like a meatball, power ball, like he dominated. And then when he did this last offseason, he said, I slimmed down, I got quicker, I wanted to make sure I had that so I could stay healthy. I was faster. And then the main thing he said, I didn't lose any power though. I made sure my weight is better. I still have the muscle. I have all of that. And we got to see it because he laid that hit in that Seahawks game. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, that's one of the biggest hits of the year out of a running back. I believe, like, again, this offseason, whether he's hurt or not, I think he gets healthy. He's going to do the same thing this offseason. He's going to make sure he's just as fast. He's just as quick, and he has the same amount of power. And, like, maybe, boys, we could talk about it, like, in 2 years with D-Mount, we can have that convo.
Yeah,
but right now, dude, the guy's in his prime. Like, I don't care coming off an injury. Like,
it's not a severe injury either.
These injuries, you like, dude, you can get them fixed in a month and be like, he played. He literally came back and played.
Okay, hold on.
Fires me up. I love D-Mont, dude.
I got to clarify something here. Okay, Okay,
you can't. Don't bring him up. Don't bring a tour up. He doesn't deserve the time. This is the moment where you say, Booner, sometimes you need to let the chat go. This is a moment where a tour says stuff that he doesn't. He is not a smart person when it comes to the ball.
He says Demon is one of the top 5 in receiving for running backs. Jeff loves to talk mad shit, which, like, again, when have I talked shit about Demon? I actually advocated for Demon to knock dudes when he doesn't know the actual stats. He said, I know you mean well, Jeff, but Demon can be argued as top 5 easily. Maybe just outside as well. But no, he's not top 5. Come on. You can't say that with any validity.
I just got a text.
The last part confused me. If
you think David Montgomery, let me. You know what? I won't even answer. I'll go to the chat. Chat. Do you think David Montgomery? No one's saying if he's not. He's a good running back. Great running back. Is he top 5? I'll let the chat answer. Yes or no. Is he top 5? Be honest. Like, you guys are all smart people. Is he top 5? I won't even answer.
You're good, Boo.
I'm just gonna let the chat answer for me because I trust them to answer for me. I'm not even gonna look at. I'm not even gonna answer.
If you're putting David Montgomery in there, you're forcing him in there. No, Diddy. Like, that's like saying Jared Goff. I think that's a perfect way. That's like saying Jared Goff is top 5. Like, they both are.
He had a top 5 year, but he's not a top 5.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and look at the chat. See,
by the way, I would, and I've said this all year long. I think I've been actually very consistent with this. David Montgomery's a top 15 running back in the NFL. Yep. That's very good. There's 32 teams in the NFL. He is a top 15 running back. He would start on basically half of the teams, but he has a number 2 running back in the NFL on his ball club. Like,
yeah. And that's not people like think, you know, and Coach Walk said it great. Like, he's great. He's just not like, that's okay. Like, it's okay.
Hey, I got
great.
a text from Easy.
Oh, what'd he say?
I texted him about it. I had to figure out this is where these arguments with Easy, and he's probably watching right now. So shout out Easy.
I hope he is.
Some of these arguments I have with him.
What do you say?
He sometimes goes on this side of numbers. He texted me and said he's slowed down, period. The next text, advanced analytics suggest as much.
He's the same guy.
And then he didn't just say advanced analytics. And then he said, so does the eye test. Now, Easy, if you're listening, the eye test in the playoffs, yes, because he was hurt. Before that, nothing suggests that this man slowed down during the regular season. He just had a guy that was number 2 in the NFL at that position playing in front of him that made it look a little different. I hate that advanced analytiks in some things.
Yeah, I would say because Easy's all the time, and he is very consistent with Norland where he hates that shit. But this is where this isn't towards you guys because I know you guys use it a lot, but you guys even say it too. Like PFF and all that shit. If it's just like if I'm watching a game And let's say there was multiple times this game where let's use Graham Glasgow for an example, or Frank Ragnow, because Frank had a couple of games, Taylor Decker, where a lineman wouldn't have a good game and you could visibly see it, and he'd grade out as the highest PFF pass blocker. And you're like, no way, no fucking shot. That's one of those things where I don't know how you would compute that at all. Maybe because maybe the advanced analytics, they factor in the injury, like the game's missed. We got to put that, like, shut up. Like, that's just where people, like, there's people who try to take football too seriously that haven't played football. And, like, if you haven't played football and you want to talk about football, no issue with it. But don't start just, like, adding metrics to the game that have no correlation at all. And to your point, Boone, like, that was my argument with Jordan Addison. It's like people don't really recognize, unless you're a Vikings fan or you watch, like, Jordan, you don't realize how good Jordan Addison is because Justin Jefferson's on the other side of him. And like, if you were like, just let that man rip, he'd be a really fucking good wide receiver. I think it's the same thing with Jameer and David Montgomery, where it's just like, sorry, he can't beat Jameer Gibbs. Only Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry can be at that level, and CMC when he's healthy. Demont's not that.
Yeah, the advanced analytics. The thing with PFF, I like it when it confirms the eye test. But to your point, Klotz, like, I have seen, like, as a guy who does use PFF, I see your point. Like, I've seen guys where throughout the season where someone struggles, and then the next day on Twitter, it's like, so-and-so, highest graded player from the game.
It's like the Brad bots, where it'll be the same crowd where it's like, he had a bad game, and they'll just flood it with PFF stats. Like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Look, it's like, no, watch.
No, he did. He did. I want to propose something before we get into this mock.
To your girlfriend?
It's
You're gonna get it.
Yeah. Not yet.
Dude, stuttering right now. Jeez, dude, I didn't know it was like that. My bad.
So let's talk football. So
it's on me.
The draft. All right.
He's joking right now.
Like, bro, get over it. It was a joke. Look how
Lex has got to be like at the side, just eyeing him down.
I've never seen Jeff this red. He looks like a tomato all of a sudden. Jeez, bro. Were you in the sun all day?
Stay with me. The NFL draft. All right. I've been thinking about this, boys. I've been sitting on this one. I've said it. Okay. Let me say that again. I've been thinking about this one. All right. I said it before, but I threw it out there as kind of like a, like this should happen. It could happen. I think I'm fully there now, boys. We talk about trading up. That's the mutual, I guess, understanding amongst Lions fans. It's like trade up and get a player, which if there's a player that's there, I'm not saying I'm against it. But as of March 28th, boys, I am fully right now on the trade back train. Yep, wow. I'm on the trade back train. And you know why? Let me explain to you something that I think is very interesting.
This is interesting.
I did it this week. I flirted with it, traded back, and got Princely from Ole Miss. But you look at 28, right? And you're probably going to have guys that fall, that maybe like a James Pierce, where you might be able just to take him and be really happy. But we have to start thinking about this realistically. If you're at 28, and there's no one there that you're absolutely in love with, but you can trade back to 34, 35, 36 and get another pick, and you can still walk away with like a really good player, a really good edge. That's like a borderline first round pick. I think we should all be excited for that. Like, when you give Brad Holmes, who's one of the best talent evaluators we've seen, especially with this franchise, more ammunition in a class where it is deep at edge. And I do think there'll be guys in the second round where you look back on in a couple of years and you're like, oh yeah, that guy's a stud. That guy's a stud. There's going to be a lot of guys in the second round like that, in my opinion, because this draft overall isn't extremely deep. I think there's some great players, but you're hearing it all over around the NFL. Like, teams open to the idea of trading for next year's picks, like getting out of this draft or moving back. I am on the trade back train, fellas. I think if you give Brad another pick, we've already seen what he's done in the second round as of late. I know early, Levi, Josh, I get it. But when you have guys like Brian Branch and Sam Laporta, it kind of evens out in the second round. And Dennis Rakestraw, we'll see. I am all for trading out, getting more draft capital, because I think in that 33 to 100 range, we do these mocks every week, there's going to be a lot of good players. And if you can give Brad another pick in that top 100 and trade back, I think it makes a ton of sense. So I think I'm officially there. Now, I'm not saying don't trade up, but I'm leaning towards trade back at this point, fellas, because I think you could still get a really good edge rusher and get maybe another wide receiver, an offensive lineman, and you walk out of that draft happy. So what do you make of that? The trade back
I mean,
idea.
I think listen, this is where I think it's hard to have the conversation. I think we can have the conversation, but I think it just all stems on who's available at 28. Or like and I know it's such like a Booner, like obviously, but like what players are falling to where does it incentivize Dan to want to move up? Like a guy like Donovan Izaraku. If Donovan Izaraku starts to fall and you have an opportunity to move up and get him, you have to make a move like that. Or like I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on our guy from Marshall.
Mike Green.
Mike Green. If Mike Green starts to fall, that's like you have to make those types of moves. But if you get to 28 and all those guys you like, James Pierce, Izaraku, all the Texas A&M kids are gone, then you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, like I'm with you on that, Jeff. Like I think it's fair to say you add more assets, especially when you're in a situation like Brad, to where we're seeing Brad not add guys in free agency like these edge rushers, and it's because he wants the longevity of this team, and he wants to be able to be like, hey, we want to sign these guys in-house. To be able to sign those guys in-house, what do you have to do, boys? You have to draft well, and you have to have assets to be able to draft well to give yourself more chances. So like that's one big thing. And I've actually, Jeff, you brought it up. I've been hearing things as well of teams like the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Lions, those types of teams who are already established, who no matter what happens in this draft, guess what they're going to be, boys? Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
No matter what, whether you draft in the first round or not, you're still going to have a chance at the Lombardi Trophy. Why wouldn't you, if your guy's not on the board, take a couple back, take an extra second-round pick, take an extra third-round pick, whatever it is, and you move back and do it? So, no, yeah, Jeff, I mean, 100% I'm in. I just think it depends on scenario at hand, like who's available.
Yeah,
are guys falling? Or if everyone's off the board and they move back, I'm okay with it. Like if there's even, like to me, if there's an offensive lineman on the board, Josh Simmons or one of those, I'm still okay with if Brad wants to move back. I'm not going to punch the air and be mad.
Because you know who's sitting there in that second round, Boone? Ariante Ursi. But I agree with you. Like, to your point, if it gets to pick 20, I made a list while you guys were talking. If it gets to pick 20 and Kenneth Grant, Izaraku, Mike Green, and James Pierce are all gone, you trade back. Because that's when you get in that conversation that we had the other day where you sit at 28. I mean, Nick Scorton's there. Do you take Nick Scorton? No, because to your point, like, you could trade back and get guys that could start day one when you look at the offensive line, possibly in that defensive end spot, obviously, that are all the same too. Like if you trade back and you get a guy like Kyle Kennard at like pick 69, like I'm making up picks, that's a fucking steal. He was the SEC Big Ten or SEC Player of the Year, Defensive Lineman of the Year in the whole country. Like that is a steal. If you get Ursery in the second round, Jordan Birch, all these guys that we talk about that aren't Mike Green and James Pierce to those likings, they're all pretty much the same tier. You can pick and pull. You get JTT in the third round, Jack Sawyer if he falls. All the guys that could possibly fall in the second or in the first round, there's going to be that other batch because now running backs, tight ends, linebackers, guards, that second round, defensive ends, they're going to be going, but there's so many available that it's a win now move because you're probably going to get more compensation for next draft. And when I brought up the point early in the week, like there was no team this year that have 2 top 10 or 2 first round picks. The Bears last year had 2 top 10 picks and they got Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze, and they were able to move up to that number 1 pick through that in years prior. So they traded away from it, but they invested in a better draft and they got a great quarterback, good wide receiver, and they killed it the rest of the way. Lions, if they put themselves in a position where you can get possibly 2 late first round picks next year, move up into that top half of the draft and take a guard like that dude that we're all talking about right now, that it gives them more flexibility because you're at a point, Super Bowl contender regardless. So I'm all for it. It would suck on draft night to be like, all right, guys, Lions are picking, but that's just in the heat of the moment. Long term, if you can add more compensation in this middle of the draft, I'm all for it.
Well, I've been the biggest quality over quantity guy, but I think this draft with the depth at edge, I'm leaning more quantity. I don't mind quantity because I think what Brad can do with a little more in this draft, you can get some really good players. Especially, let's say they don't want James Pierce, which like I want James Pierce Jr. But if they don't, he's the only one available you absolutely love. Like to your point, Klotz, like you're going to sit there and take Nick Scorton. By the way, Nick Scorton might be a really good player, but you could trade back and get someone similar value. And by the way, people are like, who's trading up? That's fair. It takes 2 to tango. You need someone to be interested. but there might be a quarterback. Maybe
That's what I was gonna like.
Jackson Dart might be there.
Tyler
still.
Shuck,
Yeah.
Jalen Monroe. If there's a team that's sitting in that first half of the draft, especially like the Giants, if Shedeur goes number 2, the Giants can't walk out of there with no rookie quarterback. Like they have to address that. Maybe they still pick at 3, but they move up in that second round to go up to late in the first. Like
That's
Lamar
the big
Jackson went
thing.
32nd
Yes.
overall. We've seen multiple. Paxton Lynch wasn't any good, but the Broncos 31st made a move for him. There's all the time, and not so much recently. But you go back like a couple of years ago, there was teams constantly trying to trade up in that first round at the back half to get their guy that they could develop. And especially like a team that I would watch for 100% is the Raiders, because who's now their minority owner there? Tom Brady. What has he talked about consistently? These quarterbacks need time to develop. Like if Shedeur falls, I would not be surprised that like out of that top 5, if Brady picks him up at 6 and be like, develop behind Geno for 2 to 3 years. Like, like Brady will walk out of this draft with a quarterback to develop. Might not work, but he's walking out of there with a quarterback.
Yep, agreed.
There is going to be a lot, I will say, especially with Jackson Dart. And I've actually seen rumors already with Jalen Milroe that there are teams that would potentially, if Jalen, like he's going to fall, but like if there are teams when in these workouts over the next month start to love him, that there are going to be teams that are looking to trade up. And again, those same rumors are the ones that I hear like, hey, some of these Super Bowl teams will be willing to move 10 spots back if they know a team's coming up to get a quarterback, and they're going to still be able to get a similar guy that they want at 28 to 32. So it makes a lot of sense. It really does.
By the way, the Pistons are bitch smacking the Cavs.
I love with no Cade.
Healthy. By the way, Cavs fully healthy. The Pistons don't have Cade or Tobias Harris, and they're up.
That's huge.
I think they're up 19.
We gonna skip past Josh Giddey last night, Jeff?
Over LeBron. Did you guys see that picture too?
Well, no, go on.
Did you see the picture? Of LeBron like sad and Josh Giddey like.
No,
it's one of the greatest pictures of all time.
Okay, LeBron. He didn't.
The
play
Giddler, as Shift God says.
The Giddler, yeah. Gilbert Arenas, dude, their pod, they were like, the Giddler. They're yelling the Giddler. Dante, appreciate the $5. His Pistons 101, Cavs 83 at the end of the third. Let's go Pistons, doing it without Cade Tobias. Yeah, you're correct about that. Yeah, the Pistons are buzzing right now, man.
I love it.
I can't wait for the play. We are doing man on the street content.
We're going to some of those games. By the way, there's a Pistons game, and I was actually thinking this, and again, boys, you don't have to. I think it's in 2 weeks. We should do like people at crunch time that watch us if they want to come to a Pistons game. Obviously, we were not.
Oh yeah, throwing a pool.
We'll go. We'll go and like, hey, let's do like a meetup or something. Because there's only one Saturday game left. There's one Saturday game left. We should go. And,
that's a good idea.
Let's do a meetup there. We haven't done one all year. We're not going to do it for the Wings, but and then we do that. And then if there's obviously Pistons playoff games, boys, we got to go to a home game. A weekend one.
Yeah, we should stream the games during the week, like watch party.
Yeah,
we should be watching them because it's going to be great.
But yeah, we should do the meetup. I don't know what game that is. Let me pull it up real quick, just so we can tell the people like plan on it. You know,
I'm down.
Let's see what day is that?
Oh no, it's like he knows when the guy's lurking.
That's when you know Jackson Dart's about to go 7th overall.
Oh no, it's.
Oh man, if that happens,
you know who it is.
You know who's making that.
Halo.
If that happens,
Zarnik.
Gentlemen. Today, I mean, what a day today is. The Pistons are absolutely shitting on the Cavaliers. No Cade, no Tobias. Statement win. Look, and I get it. Basketball's a game of runs. Anything could happen. I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to throw this thing on. Hey, boys. Detroit ball is back.
Come on.
No Cade, no problem. This is a statement win. Hey, but we're here to draft. I'm here to put some teams in good situations like I have been for the past couple of weeks. Let's get into it.
This guy. I mean, you come on with the chain. I mean, that is incredible. That is incredible.
By the way, the date would be April 5th, Saturday, versus the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the last Saturday home game. Yeah, they just fired their coach. I've got some people on that staff too. I might be able to. Maybe we can get us some tickets.
I'm Boone.
Yeah, that's
Well, actually, they're from Detroit. Probably can't. They got family here.
yeah.
If we like go to a road Grizzlies game somewhere outside of Detroit,
Alright.
we can get tickets. But I now that's probably like the one time a year their families get to come watch them coach.
Let's go. Well, we have our first round NFL mock, full first round NFL mock with the boys. We alternate picks this week. Picks are matched up. I think it's rumored that Klotzy may be selecting first.
Here we
So
go.
it's going to go Lukas Klotz, and then me, and then Boone, and then Caleb. That's going to be the top 4. So let's, I did mess up my Kuiper.
Did, Jeff? We didn't think about that fully.
That's a big miss, especially for draft season. You should have waited.
Could you imagine Jeff coming in suit and tie, glasses?
Oh, like those green, like that ugly, like puke green button up
Yeah.
with like a plaid tie.
Yeah, he's got some ugly suits, man.
You
Shout out-
really, Jeff, you know
Not
what?
common.
I'll say this. That might be, now that we say it, that might be one of your biggest swings and a miss cutting your hair right now.
Yeah,
Of your career.
Boone, it's one of those things. I just got to throw the hand up, say, "Hey, that's on me." You know what I mean?
Like you have to consult the team on your next haircut.
yeah,
I think you need to.
just
It was an emotional decision, not a logical.
Yeah,
one,
it was.
but
It was definitely an emotional decision. All right, let's just. Kuiper is not appearing today. Jeff Kuiper is still in my heart. Okay, he's still in my heart, and that's where I'm going to approach it. Still going to have the best draft out of all the fellows, but let's get to this thing. All right, Klotzy, you are up selecting for the Tennessee Titans.
All right, boys. Trades? Trades? Anybody want to trade? Trade?
Nope.
Too bad.
Nope.
Because this is a beautiful, beautiful full circle moment for me. Because coming into this college football season, I said, Cam Ward, watch out for him. ETN was in the comments. He was like, Klotz is preaching. Klotz is preaching. And now here he is, sitting at the #1 overall pick, going to be picked above Shedeur Sanders. Hit that chime with the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. The Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward. They don't want an Andy Dalton. They want Cam Ward.
Love it. I think this is like a no-brainer. It's
Yeah.
going to happen.
At this point, I feel like
Yeah.
there's no way it's not.
Oh yeah, well,
The Titans, they want a quarterback. If they get Cam Ward, dude, and they somehow find another receiver in this draft, I was thinking this the other day because last week I think I picked Cam Ward, and when I did it, I was sitting there thinking, and then the week started going on. I saw a certain pro day, and I was like, imagine Cam Ward in the first to the Titans and Xavier Restrepo in the second, and you go into the Titans and they have a defense, and now they have a legit like decent offense, and their staff is good, like.
You might be able to get Restrepo in the 3rd round now, which is insane.
Just saying, man. They don't want that to happen.
I'm going to be completely honest with you boys. I have the easiest draft pick in the entire draft.
If you take who I think you are, bro,
I think
I'll never talk to you again.
It's emotional damage here, done, Boone.
It is the Browns are in a position to take a very good player, a player that they do need at a position they do need, because as of right now, they only have Kenny Pickett at quarterback.
Oh.
And you know what I'm doing, boys. Come on, stand up, Browns Nation, stand up. We're taking the quarterback out of Colorado. Give me Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm standing on it. Because guess what? The Browns aren't going to be in a position to draft top 2. They're going to be probably top 10, top 12, top 15, something like that. Top 10. Like, they'll be mid. But this bad, you got to take your quarterback. Give me Shedeur Sanders.
Ah, man.
He's been wanting to do that for a long time.
Yeah, this is embarrassing. I mean, this franchise, their fan base is looking at this going, I'm switching fan bases. I no longer want to
everyone
be
in the draft room.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Andrew Berry. Hey, breaking news in 2026. Andrew Berry, GM of the Cleveland Browns, has been fired.
Yeah, we're getting Prime out at some games. Prime will be there. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
All right. I guess I can do this next pick here.
Yeah,
Make your life easy, Boone.
There's 2 people here that I'm looking at, and I don't know which one. I don't like the position I'm in right now.
Boone, I could trade up with you if you want.
I'm getting a couple phone calls here.
I'm not doing this today, man. I'm not doing this today.
I didn't even think about Caleb's fed up.
I'll take both phone calls. The first, who called first?
Me. I called first.
Okay, let me hear you out.
I'm the Carolina Panthers. I'm at 8.
Oh.
We want to move up here. We love a player on the board.
It's a big drop, Boone.
I'll give you. Nice.
I got to see who the other team is real quick. I'm gonna put you on hold.
That's fair.
He put you.
But if you
You're on hold. I can't hear you.
Duval.
I can't believe this is about to happen.
Dropped on 3 picks. Come on. You're not taking a quarterback here. You're not. You're not.
Oh, he's higher than the Panthers.
I can't believe this is going to happen right now.
Yourself, Caleb.
This is tough. I mean,
this is a big.
I'll give you 5, and I'll give you a 3rd rounder. And you know what?
With the 3rd pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the New York Giants have hung up the phone on every single team that called them. They're taking Abdul Carter, edge rusher.
Wow.
Who just growled?
I said, wow.
Who just growled? Someone was like mad at me.
I was like,
like a dog. Like a dog.
It had to be Caleb.
I thought it was Caleb. Caleb was like, we're not doing this again. I thought he growled at me like a pit bull. It's like, I wanted that. Jeez.
All right. Easy pick here for me. Easy pick.
He's not
the
taking
4th overall pick in the NFL draft. The New England Patriots select Travis Hunter, Colorado. Easy pick. Lay it.
That's a great. I mean,
that's a disaster. I got muted. My mic came unplugged. I was trying to call to make a trade.
No. We're sticking and picking here in New England. With Travis Hunter on the board.
Hey, sticking like Robert Kraft, baby. All right, 5th overall. Anybody want it? We're in Duval here. A lot of talent here on the board. A lot of talent. I'm willing to move down.
I'll take a swing at it. I'm the Panthers at 8.
All right. Keep talking to me. Keep talking.
I'll give you a 3rd this year, 2nd next year, and 8 and pick 8.
Hit the chime. Or trade.
Wow.
It's a trade. Hit the trade.
Oh. Okay.
Hit the trade.
So we have a trade.
We do.
Jaguars will be trading with the Carolina Panthers.
I love this.
8 for 5.
Go get you a bone. Make David Tepper happy. I'm a Canales fan. I am. Help him out here, huh?
All right, pick us in.
Here we go. Hold up.
With the number 5 overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select Tat McMillan, wide receiver.
Oh, that's a good pick.
I mean, I'll say this, Caleb.
That's a great pick, Caleb.
As a GM, I will say this. As a GM, you may have pitchforks and torches because you could have stayed at 8 and got him. You gave up.
I'm worried. I'm worried about the Raiders.
You don't know.
You just gave up assets.
Got his guy.
To a guy who's going to be there.
I got my number 1 wide receiver for my.
You just wasted assets to
franchise
a guy
quarterback.
But he didn't. How do you know?
I was worried about the Raiders.
I know.
I know.
You wasted assets. You just wasted a 2nd and a 3rd for nothing.
Hey, Caleb, that's the media the next day. You're talking to me.
Yeah, I mean, and then 2 weeks into the season when he goes 10 catches for 120 yards in game 1, everybody's gonna shut up about it.
Yeah.
And then in week 16
State anymore, pal.
Yeah, in week 16.
Klotz,
there's a new rumor. Breaking news. There's a rumor. David Tepper is no longer speaking with his GM, Caleb Zarnick. Bad terms going on. There's a potential that they may move on at the end of the year with their GM.
Adam Thielen is fuming. He's requesting a trade.
I don't care what Adam Thielen thinks. Bye, Adam Thielen. See ya. We just drafted your replacement.
And then they ask, why don't they like each other? Well, the GM has no clue what's going on in the NFL draft and waste picks just to go get a guy that he thinks is cool.
No, not because he thinks it's cool, because it's going to make our football team better. That's why I made that.
Boone, you know he's a dog, Boone. You know he's a dog.
I agree. I just don't like I know for a fact who has the Raiders.
I believe Hefe does.
Jeff, would you have drafted Tet if you would you have drafted Tit if he was on the board? Sorry, that's not funny. That's
You
not.
always choose. Well, that's a good option. Oh,
Would you though? Honestly,
no, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have drafted him at 7, so he would have been available at 8. I think
Okay,
Caleb.
well, now
let's being honest.
Well, now I
think
know
Caleb was just very, very pumped up to get a trade in after last week.
He wanted to
All right.
pull the trigger.
Can I be honest, chat, and to my friends here? That is
Yeah.
why. That is
I
why.
knew it, dude.
I needed to get a trade
Yeah,
through.
Mason Graham sitting there.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Hey,
I
you know
needed to
what,
get a
though?
trade through.
This is easy because
Yeah, this is a very easy pick.
It is. I mean, it's extremely easy, and we're just going to go ahead and get this out the way. With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders. No. They don't take a running back. They take the corner, Will Johnson, out of Michigan. Yes,
Oh my
sir.
gosh, dude.
Give me Will Johnson. Mhm.
We are stupid. No, hanging up. Jets are picking. The Jets are picking.
Oh my god!
Wasn't sure if the Jets are going to take him.
Jets weren't going to take him. I'll tell you.
You don't know that. I'm taking my guy.
No, I am the Jets. I know that.
I love Will Johnson. I think he'll be a great player.
Hit the chime, please. With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Aaron Glenn, defensive guru, is going to take the best defense or second best defensive lineman in the class, Mason Graham out of Michigan. What a steal.
Yeah,
Zero chance he'll ever.
The Jets might have won the draft off that pick. I'm not going to lie to you, Boone. That was the correct pick to make in that situation.
I did my
and
homework.
now I
All had
find
to tackle.
myself in a little bit of a doozy as well because I'm just going to take my guy here. I'm going to do it. I traded back, hit the chime. Some could say this is early. I don't care. I traded back because I was going to let one Michigan defensive tackle get picked in front. I want to add some value, picked up some good value, and I'm taking Kenneth Grant 8th overall, or what is it? Yeah, 8th overall. Give me him. I think he's going to be one of the better defensive tackles, defensive linemen, period. And the Jags have got great edges with Walker, Josh Allen, add Kenneth Grant because they had one of the worst run defenses in the NFL last year. Put that big fella in there. That makes a difference. Now I'm up at 9. Anybody want to trade up? Trade up here. Trading up. Nobody wants it.
Wait. I think I'm gonna call you.
All right.
I'm calling you.
I'm all ears. Yep.
How you doing? It's
right.
it's John Lynch. It's John Lynch.
All
Or actually, no, I'm the Bears. Nope. Take it off.
That's my team. Don't mess with my team.
All right.
Hey,
No,
it's not
I
me this
decline.
week.
Actually, it's a prank call. It's a prank call.
All right.
It was a fan calling you. It was a fan.
How did this man get my number?
All right, so I'm going to make the pick here. And when
All
I'm
right.
making this pick,
All right.
Saints are in a fucking hellhole right now, okay? And I'm looking at what they just did this offseason and what happened during the regular season as well. Trading away Marcus Lattimore, not getting Paulson and Debo to re-sign. The 9th overall pick in the NFL draft. The New Orleans Saints select Jahdae Barron, cornerback out of
This
Texas.
is such a weird draft right now. I don't know how
It
I
is.
feel
like
about
this
It's a little
one.
bizarre.
I don't know if
It's
I do.
interessante, boom.
This is such a weird
Hey,
draft.
so I'm gonna get flack for Will Johnson, but this dude takes Jahdae Barron top 10.
I
And
just
Mason
said
Graham
I
isn't
literally
sitting on the
just said
board.
this is a weird draft. Like everyone's taking weird people right now. I don't like it.
I like it.
All right,
We've got Jahdae Barron and Kenneth Grant going in the first 10 picks. I guarantee you, neither of them will go in the top 10.
Oh, you know what, boys, though? I'm just going to keep it a stack with you. This one is easy peasy. Ben Johnson and the Bears. Ben looking over at Ryan Poles. Make the call, Ryan. Okay, Ben. Yeah, of course, Ben. I will. For you. Anything for you. With the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select at Will Campbell. Give me Will Campbell. Give me the big fella.
Thank God my guy is on the board right now. My guy is on the board.
Tyler Warren.
Any trades?
Where are we sitting at? 11?
Any trades? Oh, hit the button. No trades. I have my
no.
guy. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers are in shock that this man has fallen to them. Give me Armand Membo, to keep this offensive line great.
Good pick, Boone.
Good pick.
Solid.
Pick.
Thank you.
All right,
boys.
my pick's in. Easy peasy, they say. With the 12th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select
Wait,
Ashton
trade.
Gentry. No. Ashton
He's
Gentry,
happy with it.
running
You
back,
want-
Boise
fair.
State.
Mhm.
Good pick,
That's fair.
Caleb. That's probably the pick I would have made there too. Good pick. Good pick. All
Thanks,
right.
Klotz.
How do I? All right. 13th overall. Anybody want to move up here? Any movement? Any movement?
No.
All right.
Can I ask, are you going offense, defense?
Defensive side of the ball here, Boone.
Front set in the
I can't give
in
out
the
this
box
one.
secondary.
He always does this.
Yeah,
Defensive side of the
it's all
ball.
you're
I gave
getting.
you
Boone.
enough.
I hate this. All right, go ahead.
Hit that chime.
You guys need me to scroll, let me know too. I can scroll.
13th overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. The Miami Dolphins select Mike Grain.
No, I want to trade up for him. Can I trade?
Linebacker Marshall. Bring him to Miami.
It's a good
Can I
one.
trade up?
Mike Grain.
I wanted it.
It's already selected. That's actually I thought you were gonna go Starks there. I didn't even see. That's a good one.
I was trying to trade back so I could, but
No, that's a good pick.
I would have traded back with the Falcons.
So that puts me at 14 with the Colts. Okay, this is where I like to be in this type of spot here, boys. You know what? You know what?
You want me to scroll?
No, I think I'm gonna do something I don't think I've seen yet. I think I'm gonna do something I haven't seen yet. And I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in, I think. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in. Screw it. Let's go. We're gonna try it out. I'm gonna mess this whole board up. You're gonna hate this. With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Jahad Campbell.
Ah, shit.
Yep.
That's
My
a problem
pick
for
at
me.
16.
Sorry for the household name Zaire Franklin, but Jahad Campbell comes.
That's a
in.
problem for me.
EJ Speed walked.
It's a really
There
good
you
pick,
go.
Beth.
There, I'm going Jahad. I like that.
Great
pick.
pick, man.
Like
Any
it, I bet.
calls?
15.
Uh,
can't.
Nah, I'm sitting pretty.
All right,
you know
I got
what?
I got
No,
to pick.
whoa,
one.
whoa.
Depends who you are.
It would be Schneider with the Seahawks. How you doing? I'm over
Okay.
here at
Yeah, I'm doing good.
I'm at 18, man. You're dropping down. You're dropping 3 picks, essentially 4 picks.
Okay.
I'm looking to get my guy. It's on the defensive side of the ball. Okay, we need some playmakers. I know you're looking to trade back.
Can I ask? I need a little more specific because my guy is defensive as well, and I want to make sure you're not taking my guy.
Okay. Well, I don't know how if I say
Okay.
this.
You can give me a position group or something, but I can't. This is one of those things where this will end quickly if you don't tell me. Give me something here because I have something specific.
He gets after the quarterback.
Okay, declined.
See,
I'll make it.
You should have never spoke.
well, I don't
You
know.
have
He's
to though
asking.
because if you didn't tell me who it was, I was gonna say no. I needed to know. Like if it was a safety, I would have done it.
All right,
instantly.
let it roll.
That's how these GMs work. They need to know. They have their guys. If
I
they
don't.
can get back-
Okay, go on.
It is quite specifically how the GMs they will have these conversations. Like, hey, I have a guy. I'll trade back too, but you have to guarantee me you're not taking my guy. That's
All right, take your pick.
well. Hey,
All right.
welcome to the business, Jeff Iafrate.
I just learned a valuable lesson. Go on.
With the
Go.
15th pick, the 2024 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons will be taking Donovan Izaraku, edge,
Wow.
Boston.
Oh,
College.
that's actually you know what? I like that.
Is that who you were going to take?
No, but it's okay. I like that. He probably would have been there at 18. No, I'm just kidding.
You told me you were going to take an edge rusher, dude.
Yeah, then maybe that was there's a lot of edge rushers, so that's probably.
By the way, Michigan State just won.
Yeah, my brain's in a little bit of a pretzel because
The
the Cavs cut it to 2
Oh.
after being up 19. So
with
not
3
really
minutes
sure.
left.
okay, well, we got to fight some adversity here. My pick is in at 16. With the 16th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jalen Walker,
Damn it.
Georgia.
Good pick, Caleb. I was taking him the next pick. He was about to be gone. Good pick. Good pick. Smart ball play there. Smart ball play. All right. Cincinnati. Anybody want to trade up here? Anybody feel like trading up?
Nope.
17th. Give me a little scroll, Hefe.
All right, that's Boone.
Oh, so I'm putting a bet in on Michigan plus 8.5.
This dude's betting mid.
Fiending.
The love of the game. That's just crazy.
All right. I feel like there's an obvious pick just staring me straight in the face. Hit the chime.
All right, hitting the chime.
With the 17th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select James Pierce Jr., edge rusher out of Tennessee. They need some help on defense. They went to the interior last year, safety room. They got Jordan Battle, who wasn't too bad. Geno Stone. Give somebody to replace Trey Hendrickson if they can't bring him back.
Like it. I have a great value pick here.
Do you?
And you guys just simply don't understand the level I'm thinking at when it comes to the draft. I'm doing circles around my opponents, and I'm about to show you why here. Okay, stay with me now. Stay with me now. The Seahawks pick at 18, and you know what, Boone? Thank God he didn't trade with me because I'm about to get my guy. All right, with the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks take Banks, tackle out of Texas, and he's going to play some guard for us. Maybe play tackle. But
Good pick.
one of the best. He's still there. I'm taking him.
Good pick.
Sam Darnold need to protect him.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff. Good pick.
Hey, Boone. Thanks. Appreciate it. Means a lot.
I think I'm on the board. Or I think I'm
I
on.
believe you are, Boone.
I think it's me. All right. Let me think about this one real quick. Because I want to get Jahad Campbell here, and now
I messed it all up.
Yep. Hello.
Washington here. Any interest? We'll give you a lot of assets here. A lot of assets. We're trying to move up, though. Try to make a
Washington.
splash.
You're at like 28, Boone.
20.
Yeah, we're sitting at
29.
29 right now, pal.
29.
Oh my gosh.
29. Come on. Make a move.
I'll pass.
Oh, no.
Hit the chimes.
Here we go.
19th pick of the 2025 NFL Draft. The Bucs will be taking Mykal Williams, edge, Georgia.
Still there. Yep. Like it.
Didn't realize he was there.
Oh, he's
I'll answer this one, but I'm not going to be nice to him on the phone. What?
Think if I give a fuck if you're nice, this is business, pal.
You didn't hear that.
Washington,
We weren't on the phone yet.
I'm talking here. You want to know who's calling? Washington, 29th overall. You want to make a move? Let's make a move. If not, go ahead, waste this pick.
Can I put you on hold for a second?
Go for it.
He said, go ahead and waste this pick,
Who
Caleb.
the fuck is this guy on the phone with me?
Yeah,
This dickhead.
who does he
Thinking
think
I'm
he is?
I'm gonna trade with him. All right, what's going on?
Magic Johnson, pal.
That's so funny, actually. That's so
Yeah. What's the offer? Hit me.
29. Okay, hang on the board here. Brian Robinson Jr.
Mhm.
And a second next year. And a third this year.
Oh, that's actually a lot.
It's a haul.
I mean, we're watching a live move be made, potentially.
Look, you want to be us, right? You want to be in the
Let me
AFC
look real
Championship
quick.
game. You wanted to have Jay Daniels. You got Bo Nix. You need some more talent to surround. He's a good quarterback. Add some value. Trade back. You're sitting at 29. You need a receiver. There'll be one sitting at 29 for you. Don't you worry. Need a running back? There'll be one. Defense, pretty set. And a defensive interior guy. Malachi Starks might be sitting there. Him and
Dude.
Fungo. God, that'd be nasty.
I don't know if I could do this. He drives a hard bargain. I can't. No deal. Get off the phone with me now. The pick is in.
You'll regret that one.
Oh,
I'm
the
gonna.
pick is in.
Reach.
The pick isn't actually in. I don't know, man.
Oh no.
Okay.
Just let.
All right. Pick is in.
let-
With the 20th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select Amarian Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
Oh,
Good pick. Who's next?
That's who I was trading up to get. You're going to regret that.
Who's next?
Me.
Wait, what? Why am
Can I
I
trade?
trading?
I am.
Klotz, sorry.
Klotz got trade.
I'll listen.
Goons to Goons. Packers 23.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't know what you want. Whatever you want, we'll let's make the deal.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's
Do
do
that.
it.
Wow, Caleb, you know how easy that was? Like, how it's so hard for you to get a deal done, and these guys,
Dude,
yep,
it's
done.
actually insane.
this is
It's like they have four. It's like they have.
Am I on the clock?
You are.
You
You're
are
now
on
on the clock.
Caleb's
Give
back.
me the
All you
chime.
had to do is say please.
Give me the
I have
chime.
to get on my hands and knees and beg.
With the 21st pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers traded up 2 spots above the Los Angeles Chargers to steal Matthew Golden, wide receiver,
The
Texas.
charge, you knew I was getting him, Boone. You knew I was getting
That's a
him,
good
Boone.
GM move.
Damn, Boone.
That was a good GM move.
Boone. Hey, that's a good move, Boone.
That was a great
I was
GM
sitting
move.
here quiet. I'm like, Matthew Golden's
Throw
the
the
pick
Pistons.
right now.
I knew you were, and I saw I saw the Chargers, and I was like, I put it on my sheet today. I said I wanted to get the Packers a wide receiver, and I saw Matthew Golden fall past 20, and I went, I'm gonna get this
I
guy.
can't even hate it. I had 2 players, Klotz, not trading. I have to go. I have to go with this guy. I have
No, you
to.
don't.
I have to because it's one of the two. The Chargers with the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft are
21st.
collecting tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn
Damn.
State. Yeah,
Good pick. Right pick.
It was going to
Right
go
pick.
Golden, but Warren's after that. We're getting Warren.
All right, I'm Pittsburgh here. Anybody else want to trade back again? 23rd. 23rd. I'll keep moving back.
No,
I'm out. I can't trade. It's only Jeff now.
no.
trade.
Wait. So I would take. So who's 25?
I'm 25.
So I'm the Rams. I'm not like.
Are you though?
You know what? Yeah. No. I'm calling. What's going on, Klotzy? Good talking to you
Yeah.
again. You, by the way, you ain't gonna bitch me around like you did Caleb. So let's get that straight. All right, number
Hang
2.
up the phone. Pick is in.
No.
Oh, that was
No,
Jeff, this
Hit the
guy's
chime.
impossible.
Hit the chime.
I
Hit the
can't
chime.
I can't get a deal done with this.
I
guy.
already added value.
It's insane.
I already added value. With the 23rd overall pick in the NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be selecting. Listen up, Boone, because it's happening. Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm waiting over here on my quarterback. You think you can bitch me
Wow.
around on the phone? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I did.
No,
I
That's-
told you
This
you
is
were gonna bitch me
business.
around.
Business.
That's
What a douche. I know. I'm serious. What a douchebag. This is like. No, don't answer it. No, we're done with Klotz. This guy's bitching everyone around.
My pick.
I got a deal done pretty quick with Klotzy, to be honest.
Yeah, hey, Bill,
Yeah.
Bill said, "Hey, I'm sitting at 23 right now, whatever it was." Like, okay,
I'll give you whatever you want.
yeah.
All right, no.
This is
My pick's
dumb.
in.
I tried to make a statement. All right, let's go.
With the 24th overall pick in the NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Nick Emmanuel. I always butcher this last name. Safety from South Carolina.
Love that. That's my
Emmanuel.
Oh, that's
favorite
good-
pick.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Caleb.
I love Amanawari.
Monowari.
I love him, dude. He's so
All right,
good.
fellas, I'm sitting in a little bit of a predicament here. 2 guys I really want to pull the trigger on. Both Buckeyes. Okay, let you know that much. And I'm struggling here. I really am. I'm struggling. But you know what? Hit the chime. Hit that chime. You can replace talent. One thing you can't replace, chemistry. With the 25th overall pick in the NFL Draft, the Houston Texans will be selecting Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Hey, we got his ass. Yeah, I like that. Hey, yeah. What a dumbass.
That's so
Picks
funny,
in.
bro.
All right.
That's so funny.
Less speed and it's like that video, Boone, of them in the apartment. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
we got
These
it,
guys are idiots, man. No way they just let this happen for him.
With the
That's
26th
so
pick.
funny,
I
bro.
got you, ATN. I got you. All right.
Oh, dude.
With the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Josh Simmons, tackle out of Ohio State.
That's a
There's
great
your-
pick for them. It's the right tackle, right? For them, probably.
Yeah, I was
They
thinking
have a
about
left
Loveland if
tackle.
you took Simmons, but it's fine. I'll take Simmons. I'll take him.
That's a good pick. Oh, I'm on the board now.
Mhm.
Anyone want to trade?
Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds, Boone.
No, I'm good. Here.
I need to scroll because I'm the only one that can make a move.
I'm good.
But yeah, because Jeff, you didn't trade yet, did you? So you can make a move too.
No, yeah, he can make a move.
I have the Bills. It ain't worth it
Whoa.
to me now.
Hey, who's calling? Who's calling?
Washington.
Oh, Washington,
Dude, no, this guy's a dickhead, Boone. The guy from Washington.
Can I ask you a question again? I need to
Defensive
know.
side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball.
I need specifics a little more because I have a player I want. If he's not there at 29,
He
I'm
was
not
in the if you were to put an equator across the United States of America, he would be in the southern hemisphere.
What?
There's my guy is in the southern hemisphere. I need what position? Like I need something. Here. I know.
It's not. Let me put it to you like this. It's somebody that you would take if he was there, but there's somebody that's sticking out to you a little bit more. I'm not taking the person that's sticking out to you a little bit more. I know who you would be taking here because it'd be a Baltimore Ravens type of pick. I'm not taking that guy.
We gotta look at this board really quick.
Oh, Boone, he's hitting you with the psychology. What if it's the guy you want, Boone? Boone, don't trust this guy, man. He bitched Caleb around, dude. I'm telling you.
I didn't pitch him around the first time though.
Out of respect, because we made the trade
and then he
already.
hung up on me.
I will make the trade.
Come on now.
And I hope it doesn't backfire on me. And if it does, we might never trade again. You're on the board.
Fair. Business is business, though, Boone. And
My heart might get
Commanders, they had a great offseason. They lost one of my favorite players in the NFL. He went over to the Raiders. Now there's a hole in that safety spot. With the 27th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Washington Commanders will be selecting Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia.
Love that pick for them, actually.
I just wanted to make a trade there.
They needed that because Will Harris. They couldn't go into this year with Will Harris as their starting safety.
Couldn't do it.
That's so.
He would have been a good Baltimore Raven, Boone.
Yeah. Lion. Who's got the Lions?
Caleb.
I got the Lions.
Oh.
Does anybody have a trade left or no?
No,
Jeff.
I think we're all Hefe might.
I
Jeff.
do. I do. But can you give me a scroll, Boone? Give me a little scroll. Let me just see the options. See if I'm in love with any of these guys.
Well, what pick are you?
I would be 30, so I'm only a couple picks behind you.
Okay.
He's the Bills.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm good.
I didn't even scroll. I didn't even let you see anyone.
No, I stalled. Yeah, I'm okay.
That's not me, bro.
All right. Can I get one more scroll, please?
Yep.
Dude's gonna take Luther Burden.
Shut up, man. Okay. All right.
Maxwell Harrison.
The speed, dude. All right.
Oh,
Pick
dude,
is
that'd
in.
be so funny, man.
All right, pick is in.
With the 28th overall pick in the NFL draft,
This is interesting.
the Detroit Lions select Walter Nolan,
Good pick.
defensive tackle,
Good
Mississippi.
pick. Good pick, Caleb.
There's still some tackles there on the board. I mean, Zabel's there, Connolly's there.
Can you hit the button for me, please?
This is the easiest pick of all time for Boone.
With the 29th pick, the 2025 NFL draft, the Baltimore Ravens, their draft room is erupting right now because they have gotten Shamar Stewart, edge, Texas A&M.
You know what? That's a Ravens pick, definitely.
Someone please make the correct decision here. This can drive me nuts if the correct pick is this you, Hefe?
Yeah.
Please make the right choice here.
I don't know what the right choice is for
What choice is that, Klotz? I mean, you're on your high horse over here, bitching.
I mean, that.
No, I am. We don't want to get on the phone right now and tell you how to DM this pick.
This guy's telling me what the right pick is. He calls me. You want to trade? No, I'm just telling you what the right pick is. That's what he's doing right now.
I'll trade up from the second, steal more.
I think this, for me, I'm battling between two guys, and I think you're probably thinking of one of the guys. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. I'm doing it. Screw it. With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
You wanted me to go Burden.
Good pick. No, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I know.
I like that pick.
But we took Keon Coleman last year.
But now look who the Chiefs are about to get.
Colston Loveland.
Boone's controlling here, so Nick Scort might go off the board here.
All right, hit it.
All right.
Oh, no, Boone, you got a great pick staring at you.
With the 31st pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs will protect their franchise player. It's like Ray Zabel, tackle,
Oh, yeah.
potentially guard out of North Dakota State after losing Joe Tooney.
Wow, I'm in an interesting spot here. I mean, you go best player available, I think, if you're Philly.
Or do you?
That's the decision I'm trying to make right now.
Yeah, Luther Burden being there, I don't know what happened. But
No, there's like
I'm not.
I think
At
it's
least-
starting to get more often Luther dropping out.
Yep. Especially after Ibuka ran a 4.4.
he did?
Yeah, low 4.4.
I
There's
think
like a
too.
4.7 and a 4.53.
I didn't
but
know that. That's great for him. That's awesome.
I think there's a world where both of those wide receivers fall out of the first.
Not with Houston, baby.
You know what?
Who's
I'll
up?
do something fun here. I'll
Caleb?
do something fun here. Malik just said it in the chat. I'll do something fun. Chime. With the 32nd pick in the NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Colston Loveland.
I
Tight end.
like this. I
Yeah,
like it.
he's
Good.
right. They're shopping Goddard.
That's
they traded
good.
Colston Loveland.
If that happens for them, that's
Jalen Hurts will love that shit too.
Yeah.
adding like a rookie deal. You don't have to pay a tight end. Add an elite guy.
Hey, listen, this one got a little freaky. All right, throughout the whole draft, there's some picks here that got a little freaky. All right, there's a lot of disrespect too, but we're not going to get to that too much. It was it's just
McMillan going 5th overall. Trading up for him.
Caleb just wanted to make it.
crazy.
You'll see. You'll see.
Shitter
I
going
think it's
too.
good, but that's crazy, dude.
Come on. I like it. 3 Michigan players back.
Yeah, that's
to back
crazy.
Back.
Yeah.
Like Will Johnson, Mason Graham, and Kenneth Grant.
Mason Graham and Jade Barron, those are 2 klotzy picks, but I think there's a 0% chance both of them go in the top 10.
No,
or even
I
one
want
of
Kenneth
them.
Grant, Boone.
Yeah,
He
you
had
went
value and
Kenneth
we get
Grant and
my guy.
Jade.
Yeah, you took
and
Jade
Jade
too.
Barron.
You can't run
Yeah.
from that one.
I think both of those picks, I think neither one of
you
them
said
will be in
Mason
this.
Graham and Jade Barron.
Oh,
I said Kenneth
My
Grant.
bad. Kenneth Grant and Jade. Mason Graham will be top 5.
Yeah.
Kenneth Grant and Jade Barron, both Barron.
I
Neither one
I
will be a
think
top 10 pick.
The reason why I took Barron, just because I do think there's a chance and I don't agree with it, but we're hearing this noise of Will Johnson falling because he hasn't worked out. And there's definitely a real shot that Barron's the first corner taken off the board. And the Saints are sitting with no one in their cornerback room, essentially. So between that, like an edge rusher, and I was like, well, who do I think is going to be better? I think Jade Barron's going to be a stud. I don't think there's many questions about it. A couple questions with these edge rushers. So I just think he's foolproof.
Can I side
Very
note?
interesting,
I know we just got done with this, but we got to bring up what the Pistons just did.
Oh my gosh.
I mean the Pistons guys, they might mess around. You know
Dude,
what, Caleb? Why
that's
don't
special.
we win? Why don't you know what?
Mm-hmm.
35 wins is disrespectful.
Mhm.
I'm looking at 50. Okay, I'm looking
That's
at
insane.
50. The
And they only have 8 games left.
8, no. Okay, 8,
All
no.
right.
50 and 32. Okay, why not? Honestly, we should start having a conversation. I know we haven't talked a ton of, like we mentioned, the playoff series win.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, me and you a little bit, Boone. We kind of went, we agreed, but we didn't really go into it. That East, boy.
I'm telling you, dude.
They might mess around, make a little, second.
They're gonna make a
Eastern
yeah.
Conference Finals.
I think they're going to make a run. Like I really do with Cade healthy. I don't know what the Jaden Ivey stuff is, but with Cade healthy and the way they're playing, I mean, you look at it now, boys. The Bucks are losing. If the Bucks lose, that's another step closer to the 4 or above them. I don't know if
we're above Milwaukee right now. And Milwaukee's losing right now to the Knicks.
No Lillard
I think the Knicks, if I'm wrong, is the 4 or no, the Pacers. We need the Pacers to keep losing. Pacers have an easy schedule though, so that's
we're right on their ass though.
Yeah, they're a game and a half behind.
But listen, they play OKC tomorrow, which if we need that loss. But then they play Sacramento, Charlotte, Utah. They have Denver, but then Washington, and then they do play Cleveland twice. So as long as you stay close with them, if you can get a 4 seed and you play the Pacers and you have home court, there's a chance you're winning that first round matchup. I know we haven't beat the Pacers this year, but if you have home court, Pistons fans are going to show up and show out.
Yeah, I mean, what they did tonight was truly special. No Cade, no Tobias. They have a 12-game losing streak against the Cavs, and they go out there and win in front of their home fans. I mean, this is a ginormous win. And when you talk about the playoffs, it's like their brand of basketball the NBA hasn't seen in a long time. It's like an ancient art. They're really physical, team that likes to play fast, and that's what the Pistons are. And I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, he has not shot the ball well these past 2 months, but he had a fantastic night tonight. And when he's on, this changes the whole landscape of this Pistons team, because you pair another shooter and a lengthy defender with Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, Tobias Harris. That's a really, really good basketball team, and they're really going to make some noise in the East. I mean, what they are fucking doing, gentlemen, is incredible. They're going to, I think, triple their win total. I mean, from last year. I'm not a math guy. I think that's true.
Will they have 14?
It is true. They were talking to it with Stu a night or two ago.
Yeah.
He was even like,
they tripled it. 42 right on the dot.
You just got to get healthy. You got to get Cade healthy, and you got to get Tobias healthy. That's it.
I think they have, but the thing that they have that'll benefit them in the postseason is they have length. They have a balance of athleticism. They have guys that can shoot the ball, like you said, if they're on. But they have capable shooters. Like they have a superstar in Cade Cunningham. Like he has a complement of really good role players, like guys that are young that we don't really know their potential. Like they have a lot of things that you look for, and like I know they're a young team, but still like playoff teams. Like they look like a playoff team. They're built like a playoff team. Like they have a good bench. Like Dennis Schroeder started tonight. Like Dennis Schroeder on the bench, dude. With his experience.
Yeah.
They have they have enough pieces. You know what I mean? They do. They have a good
I think too
of vets and young guys.
The one thing that really every single time you think about this team that stands out to me compared to other some of these teams that are contenders or in the East is a lot of these teams are top heavy, right? Like they have 2 or 3 guys who are really going off. I brought it up the other night on the show, Jeff, in a game that they had earlier this week where you saw the scoring spread out. Like tonight with no Cade and no Tobias, you have a Sar Thompson, 8 for 18 and gets 18 points. Tim Hardaway, 30 plus. Jalen Duren, 16. Schroeder, 17. Malik, 19. Isaiah, 14. Ron Holland, 10.
Ronald.
I read it off ESPN. 10. Mm-hmm. It's just it's so spread out. And I think a lot of people don't realize it's some of the teams in the NBA, you see top heavy teams, but when you have a team that's spread out and you have 1 to 9 guys who can all give you 15 no matter what a night if you need it from them, that's where it gets scary, because when you're playing defense, it's you don't know who's going to get you buckets. And if you have 9 guys who any night can step up and do that, teams can't stop that. You can't it's impossible to game plan that. It's easier to game plan if there's 2 or 3 guys and you're all right, well, how can we slow 1 or 2 of them down? If you try and slow 1 or 2 of these guys down, they have 7 more guys who can give you 15 and keep you in the game. That's where it's it's a little scary, especially in the playoffs. If these guys are playing that well, now I do still think in the playoffs, they have to perform. There are teams who get in the playoffs and they're like, oh no, what's going on here? We haven't done this yet. This is crazy. Hopefully that's not the case. But if it isn't, and they're doing what they're doing tonight in the playoffs, they will win 1 or 2 series. Hands down. No question.
Yeah. Boone, you're 100% right. When teams play as a team, that's when they win in the playoffs. And I know we just beat the shit out of them, but that's why I really like the Cavs in the playoffs, because they have guys like Ty Jerome and Max Strus who have been playing really well all year. and they're going to have an impact on the floor in the playoffs. Like other teams that are very top heavy, just expect these role players out of nowhere in the playoffs just to perform. Yeah. And that's another, that's why I think the Pistons are going to make a little run, because they have guys, they're 10 deep, and they have 10 guys that play hard, play defense, and they can score when you need them to. Like this team is so well constructed. Trajan did a fantastic job, and the job JB Bickerstaff has done has been, I mean, he's the coach of the year. No doubt in my mind he's the coach of the year.
I don't know how you don't give it to, I mean, because to me, some of these awards have been frustrating in the NBA, but like coach of the year to me, like when people were frustrated that Brian Daboll won it that year, that Dan should have won it, like I actually didn't hate it, because I think coach of the year isn't all about win total. It's about context, and the Pistons were literally a laughing stock, like the worst team in the NBA. Like no one, even the people that are probably more slappy, like no one expected this. This was not like a normal thing to expect. A team to win 40 plus games after being the worst team in the league and looking like they don't have much of a future, to be honest with you. Like that, that's why I think JB deserves coach of the year for sure, because they haven't really, they added Tobias Harris. They added Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. And then you added Dennis Schroeder midway through the season, but Jay Ivey goes down. Like that has to matter too. That's more context. Like I think JB's coach of the year, man. I don't hate that at all. I don't know what the odds are, but he should win it. I know they'll have probably a couple of guys in it, but I think JB should win it. I mean, he's done and I'm not just saying that as a Pistons fan. I'm being serious. Like even if I wasn't a Pistons fan, like you're looking at the job he's doing, like what? And tonight they just beat the Cavs with no Cade and no Tobias Harris and no Ivy. And they beat the Cavs healthy. It's crazy. So I love that take. He's coach of the year.
Yeah. I mean, what's different is he knows how to use the players. He knows how to use Duren, knows how to use Stu. That's the difference with JB.
I mean, even Ball Don't Lie says the real question is just how shit was Monty Williams. I mean,
that's what's I mean,
like I didn't like last year. You should have at least been able to get to like 30 wins. Can we agree? Like close to 30. Like dude, 14, man.
If Cade stayed healthy,
yeah. Of course, with Cade, but still, like that to me is more. And you had Cade, yelling at Monty. That's a whole nother thing. Them arguing like he's a terrible coach. And I loved Monty in Phoenix. I've loved Monty throughout like his entire coaching career. But for whatever reason in Detroit, it was a disaster. I don't even think he wanted to coach. Like I think he just saw the money and was like, shit, I got to coach. I think he was planning on taking another year off. And he got brought. So JB, excellent coach, man. Disrespected by the Cavs. Great coach.
Yeah, they should be embarrassed, to be honest. What they really
even though they're really good, but still, like JB beat them.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that tonight either. That's even more of like salt in the wound for Cleveland for this.
Did it with less too. Like I don't care if they're at home. Like I love that. So Pistons are exciting to watch, man. It's fun.
I mean, one more thing that happened in the game real quick is like I never saw shit like this happen last year, and the broadcast did a really good job showing it. I think it was close to the end of the second quarter, and the Cavs were going on a run. Darius Garland went off a pick, hit a three, and Duren didn't follow him. JB calls a timeout, pulls Duren to the side. Everybody's in the huddle yelling at him, right? We never saw Monty do that. Was yelling at Duren. Then at the end, you could tell he was passive. He's like, let's go, whatever. And Duren was all fired up. And I think 2 possessions later, Duren got a dunk. I mean, that's stuff you never see. You never saw from Monty Williams, that passionate coaching. You never saw it. That's what this locker room needed, is a guy that cares and a passionate head coach. And that's what they got.
Agreed. And Trajan Langdon for actually understanding, because a GM can identify talent. That's awesome. You can have one facet of being a GM. You can be a aggressive guy in free agency. Maybe you're a good drafter, make great trades. But Trajan so far, I haven't seen many trades, but the Dennis Schroeder trade, loved it. Great trade.
He gave up nothing to bring him in. He just said, hey, we'll take the deal.
Perfect fit. I think signings and then drafting. I mean, Ron Holland's going to be a really good player.
But I think like Jeff, and this goes back, and this is the number one thing with the Troy Weaver. Like he could evaluate talent. Yes. It comes back to building a team. Like you saw the pieces that Troy Weaver had brought in. Great pieces. Cade, obviously with the 1A overall, but like even like Jay Ivey, love him. Jalen Duren, like you're starting to see some of these players and what they can do. Stu
Asser, who's been balling too.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like he could never figure out the pieces around. Like he could never put it together. And even the decision with Monty Williams, like making that decision, whether that was Tom Gores or not, it was like this organization could never figure it out. The fact that they said, we're going to let Trajan Langdon do whatever he wants. Like he went out and got JB Bickerstaff. He went out and got, his whole staff that's going to go out there and build this team. He went out and got the Tobiases, the Tim Hardaways, like these players where you're like, hey, we need some vets. Kept Malik Beasley. Like I just think like Trajan knows like, hey, this is new age NBA. You need to put an actual team together that can compete and let these young guys kind of blossom. And that's, dude, he's done it. And I think a lot of credit does go to Trajan for it. This is literally, boys, like, and I know every year I'm always like, I want to see it. This is the thing, Jeff. I tell you, like, I want to see it before I believe it. I said at the beginning of the year, JB, the culture's going to be there. I already knew. I knew the type of coach he was. But this is what my last 5 years of being on air, talking about the Detroit Pistons and going at them. Every single point that I ever made, people are like, oh, Booner, you're negative. Every single point I've made about them turns back to this is the type of organization in basketball that I've been preaching for so long. And there were a lot of people, Pistons fans out there, who now are trying to say, oh, give me credit. No, that we're like standing up for Troy Weaver, standing up for these people. And it was like, you just might not know what winning basketball looks like. This is it. Welcome to it. Like, this is what I've been annoying about for the last 5 years on air, is because it's like, this is the expectation. Like, this is what basketball should look like. I'm happy to finally see it. Like, I don't have to go at the team anymore. I can actually be like, hey, they've done a good job. I can enjoy it.
I actually have a take tomorrow that I'm going to drop on Saturday mornings with Crunch Time. I'm going to save it.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm excited. And we're going to talk Pistons, and I've been holding this one in. We're going to say it tomorrow. So if you're chilling on Saturday morning, you know where to be. Crunch Time Sports. Saturday mornings are Crunch Time. Caleb. Boom,
9 a.m.
Hopping in there.
9 a.m. We won't be live at 10 tomorrow. It'll be 9.
Yeah, 9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. Doing it an hour earlier. So if you're up in the morning, you're getting errands done, turn it on in the car, turn it on at home. It'll be a good show. But until then, appreciate you, boys. Great stuff tonight. And we will catch you all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
And go Tigers. Go Tigers, too. Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers about to play.
Yeah,
oh,
so
I need to get a parlay in.
Up there. Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Till tomorrow.
Peace. Love you guys.
Peace.